men, more.
Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. I'm doing a response video in which I have to do it again, which I know I can, on this video in particular, because of an associate of mine. He made a clip on Stitch about this, and I want you guys to listen carefully on what these people are talking about here. And I'm going to give my commentary, okay? But of course, you know how to find me. I do have a Patreon. I do have a series down below, okay? So I'm just doing this whole video over again. It's going to be less than 10 minutes. I also will post this on my YouTube as well, okay? Because what I talk about is what usually is not talked about, all right, on the internet. But I'm going to talk about it maybe once, maybe even twice, and then I'm out of here. So let's begin with the video, okay?
If women started liking godly men, more men would turn to God, and the world's problems would end.
Not necessarily true. I want you guys to understand the word God. This is an indigo message to all of you individuals all across the world. The word God was created by men. Facts. God didn't just come down and say, I'm God. No. It's a term used for something that's more powerful than the other thing. Man, God, man, woman, child. Okay, it's just the order of things. And even the Lord, okay, it's just the word terminology. The word God, even spelled backwards, is a metaphor for many different things. It's encrypted. Like words are spells. You have to spell it, all right? Okay, so if you turn God backwards, you get, I digress here. I digress. I'm just giving you a little education here. Turn God backwards, you get dog. Dog actually represents the word followers. You know, dogs are easier followers than cats. You know, cat people are more smarter than dog people. But overall, that's another topic for another day. So we got dog, and if you take dog, you take people are easily followed and misconstrued, and they are easily led astray through dogma. So dogma even had that word God spelled backwards in it, dogma. And in dogma, you will actually see propaganda. From dogma, you get propaganda. You don't even propaganda, you have the word God written in propaganda. Now, since you already understand that propaganda derives from paganism, you could still see the word God in there. So since we know the origins of God, which was created by man, the word God is just a man who created it. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, it says, and let us create man in our image. See, our image. A bunch of men created the word God. All right, so now we got that from the beginning. We understand that there's no one that's more important than God, which is you. You are God. If you're a woman, you're God. If you're a man, you're God. You're just a little g God, not the supernatural God. That's what I want to say. Okay? As I said before, most people don't understand these simple concepts. I use common sense. I say, hey, I think more than most people do because I'm crazy and I'm schizo, right? So let's begin with the video.
Literally, but to hear you say that, if women started giving it up to doctors and lawyers, more men would be like, I gotta be a doctor.
Every man would be like, man, which one you gonna be?
It's not true at all. Women are already dating a whole bunch of lawyers who were geeks, a whole bunch of doctors who were geeks, who are basically putting themselves on the line for being beta by showing off. When you tell a woman, I am a doctor, why don't you do the strategy in the dark psychology like Coming to America? Y'all saw Coming to America, the first one, right? Which was an exceptional, where Eddie Murphy was in there, and he was, and Eddie Griffin was in there too, and he was trying to teach him some rules of the ways of the lands of the law, but they didn't listen. Eddie Murphy decided he didn't want puppy dog type of love, girls that actually wanted to listen and obey in an orderly fashion, so he could have more peace. Instead, he came to America to have chaos. Okay, he wanted a woman who can think on her own. Not a wise decision, but I know a lot of you women would disagree with me. I do. You know, it's like when you give, you know, if you have logic and then you have emotion. Emotion could be sexual, but what is better? Which one do you wish to have? Or do you wish to be emotional, or do you wish to be logical? Women are already dating these high-value men. They're already smart enough to find them. You're not going to escape. If you're an average Joe Smo and you make it in life with any form of income or financial gain, they're coming. The doors will open. So this is a fallacy. This is a flaw. This is not true what they're talking at all. they are going to get their cake. Okay? I see it all the time. All right, let's continue.
Gay, I don't care. Oh, you like women? Which one you gonna be? I'm going for a doctor, man. I'm going for a lawyer. I don't like all that blood. And my thing is that, and I say this, and this is not a blaming, and I have not talked to no man in this room about this, but every little boy starts off sweet.
Yes.
That's not true at all. Do your research, and do research on children that are under the age of 10, mass murderer killers, cold-blooded, psychopathic type children that are from the demon. Even if you read the Bible, I'm not religious, by the way. Okay, I'm indigo. Indigo people are not religious. Okay, I don't believe in all Hinduism and Judaism and all that stuff, because all those things could be written, and of course they may be real, but it doesn't really matter because they're stories, his stories. You better do your research on that. All children are not born equally. All right, all children are not born equally. Let's continue.
I agree with you.
And then you see the girl you like celebrating a dickhead.
Or she cheated on you with one. You was being faithful to her.
Listen, well, most women are not taught by alpha males, so they don't know any better. This is why you got guys like me teaching women behind the scenes on how to appropriate their emotions and their emotional intelligence. Women do not have the emotional intelligence to take care of men who don't even acknowledge the fact that they have not been trained. They have been taught. Lots of men get in relationships because they're in their beta states. But they do more than women. Definitely they do, because I know there's a lot more virgin men than there are virgin women. Average looking Joe Smoes, okay, you know. Average looking men don't get any punani, all right? Especially if they do not have any income. If you do not have any income, you will die as an incel, okay? And if you've been watching behind the scenes of all of the guys who say it's so hard and they're not talked about, that's what this show is about. All right? Women are getting their cake, but they're not going to be able to eat it long term. All right? Capiche? That's why you got that thing with P. Diddy and shit. And all these women are suing these men. I would never put myself out there. I would never put myself out there to tell people of the world I'm rich. Keep that money to yourself. Keep your mouth shut. Do what Eddie Murphy did when he Coming to America. Kept his silence, okay? But the most disrespectful thing she'd ever did was not respect that he had to hide that he was a prince. Eddie Murphy had to hide himself as a prince because he didn't want her to find out about his wealth. And that is the flaw of how it works. Take out the money, you have nothing. There's no education whatsoever. Let's continue.
And she messed over you. That happened to me in college.
Dog.
It happened to you because you probably...
James, is this not your
Y'all was
story?
being mean to us and pulling our hair when we was little.
And that's the boys y'all liked. Not the boy that was like...
we was toying, oh, he's pulling your hair because he likes you. Y'all been giving
you're
toxic
lying.
No, Tamira.
information
Tamira.
to the kids.
Tamira, let me explain to you. Listen to me, Tamira.
Listen, when you guys have these women on and you try to make it seem like they're not accountable, it only makes matters worse in the long run because they're going to get emotional. They're going to pull your channel down. Eventually, you will fall. I don't care how nice the channel is. Your guys are putting all your incomes in. You invested all this to try to expose the Jezebels and the 304s. Whatever, okay? You are going to lose. The math is not going to add up. You may put a message out there, but this message has already been out there for eons of time, since the Bible times, so the biblical times. There's a lot of powerful men who's been befooled by a woman, okay? But it's up to you guys to come to the right people to get that true knowledge. So you can avoid these type of women, okay, you know. And I keep telling you guys, it's really hard for you guys to do what I do. You know, virginity, polygyny, and seeking out the father figure, that's really hard. I know that's an alpha-like trait that none of you have. Okay, because you be trolling me, telling me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a Gen Xer who's a simp. You know, you yak. But I know, you know, you can't do what I do because I got videos. I'm on Pornhub. I'm on OnlyFans. You ain't got shit, and I get paid. So I get paid from women, and y'all guys just yak. I'm marrying, and I would never come on this show, okay? Myron the Moron, okay, and the Fresh and Fit. You know, I started Kevin Samuels, okay? I started the Passport Brothers, okay? Now it's up to you guys to go to the right person, me, all right? I got a Patreon. I got a series down there, and I'm private. I do not do YouTube and everywhere else. I am not looking to be a millionaire. All right. Okay. Here we go. Let's continue.
There's a reason why the term is nice guys finish last.
Yeah.
And if we start seeing nice guys finishing first, you will see an entire different world. And that is why we have the God Show. We got to put a spotlight on the nice guys. And that's the fucking truth.
Nice guys aren't as fun.
No, seriously. No, that's
What was that
see?
for?
There you go.
There you go. There it is.
What you
You see exactly what the Jezebel says. She couldn't even help herself. She couldn't even help herself to say something as wicked and cruel as that. She doesn't understand the conundrum that will come with her choosing the fuck boys over the guys the nice guys aren't boring. So whenever you hear someone talking about, oh, lames or something, these guys are boring, they're not boring because men have more hobbies than women. So I'm not hating on women. I know I talk about the topic a lot, but there's a lot of shows popping up like this. Okay, ever since I started this shit in 2010, okay, way before that too. You guys, don't call nice guys lames. Don't do that. Okay, and you know the women are already calling them lames and shit because they just average looking until they get a paycheck. Okay, you know, I hate that. You see what she just said? That's the spirit of Lilith right there. She will never be able to. As a matter of fact, I feel the only way a woman can learn the suffering of a man, okay, or an average looking Joe Spell male, okay, is she tried to change her sex, okay. Now, there was a woman who did this, and she committed suicide because she knew, okay, that it was harder to live as a man than a woman. But let's continue on. I digress.
Hold on, it just summed up your verse. What you just said.
Summed up my
you
verse.
want what's bad for you.
Yeah, you want what's bad for you.
You know this dude is gonna fuck your life up, fuck your guts up, and cheat on you.
In the meantime, these two guys are beta alpha cucks. I'm talking about, yeah. I know they have a true intention to help good guys out, but these guys don't look average looking Joe Snows. These guys don't have problems with women. They try to make a profit off of this. You know, I can see through their facade. These guys don't have problems with picking up used vaginas. Okay, so but they got to make a show though, just like Andrew Tate's and Kevin Samuels. These guys are not true McCoy individuals. Okay. Whenever I see a guy who I can tell who don't really have problems with women, they just trying to feed off of the sorrows of these nice guys. Okay, but I digress. These are beta alpha constructs. All of these guys is doing this for you guys who are nice guys. You guys gotta look ugly. You gotta make a show where two ugly guys is. You'll probably never see it though. But anyway.
Yeah, and you know this guy's gonna love you, marry you, and treat you, but he's gonna be boring.
There you go.
And I want action.
Boring is okay, my mama used to say sometimes. Boring is
Hey, listen,
You're not boring.
makes the best husbands.
yes.
Come on.
Lame makes the best boyfriends.
Come on.
All that
Stop saying lame. Stop saying that. They're not lame. They actually have more hobbies. Video games, guns, cars, sports. I go on the basketball court. I see guys on the court all the time. They're more physically active. Stop saying those guys are lame. These guys on the show are lame because they're lying to a lot of guys. I hate that. I really despise that. Okay? Kevin Samuels did it at first. He kept doing that and looking down on average Joe Schmoes. Okay? And then we got Andrew Tate. Okay? You know, the millennials love these type of good-looking guys, so they gravitate towards them. Okay? When they're good-looking, they're going to throw out some money. So be careful. Yeah, I've already warned you about this. I'm not trying to bring services to me at all. I just told you I got a Patreon. I'm private and only have 60 squares. All right, so I got none. I got no patrons because when you join me, I will cut you off if you do not keep in touch. You know, not like I need your attention or anything. It's just I'm trying to give you knowledge. You need a father figure. Most of you guys have not been had alpha fathers, and you'll read something on the internet stating, "Oh, I found the true knowledge of alpha." They're not alpha. You're not going to see it nowhere. Okay, because everywhere I go, I'm trying to look for pimps who say they're pimps, but they're pimp simps, whatever. No, it doesn't exist on the internet. Let's continue.
that cool shit. When my daughter asks me what she should do, pick you the lamest one. And
my daughter will never date an American man. Okay, no matter how much money he has to go through me. It's that simple. You get, that's a whole new topic for another day, but I talk about it all the time, how you should raise your daughters. Hey, it's not allowed. Everything should be traditional. Ask permission from the father. This is why women like her got problems, because she never asked permission from her father. But that's another subject for another day.
Love them and appreciate them, and you give them the sauce.
Love a lame.
I would do that, but I feel like,
No.
and sorry, because this is off topic.
The sauce is dirty. Okay. Virginity is important. All right? I'm part of the purity culture. I do not pertain to ascertain this knowledge from him to say some ignorant shit like that. Okay, you know, I'm like, the sauce. You see, he's beta alpha. He's just, why are you talking like that? This sounds nonsense. Okay? Give a nice guy the sauce. I'm like, who the fuck? Why would you say that? Okay, why would a virgin mess with a 3 or 4 or a prostitute?
But I feel like I'm always when I walk in a room full of dudes that aren't lame, I'm gonna be wanting that, and then I feel like one day you end up cheating on your husband because
She don't know what lame is. When she look at her face, even if he's attractive or ugly, as long as this mucho is here, she's gonna look past that. All right, let's continue on again.
you know realistically that wasn't your type. So that's why I would go for the lame.
So then accept that you are contributing to the toxic culture of America.
Well, as the queen of toxic.
You are the queen of toxicity, so she owned it, guys. She owned it, Jordan. She owned it.
Oh, boy.
If women started like...
Now, since I made my point very clear, I made a response video on this. No hate to women at all. It's just, you got to get educated, guys. And women, too. And everything in between. Now, there are more than 2 sexes, yes. Candy Sowens, you can look it up yourself. They'll call it abnormalities, okay, or something. No. What I found out, I'm like, yo, woo. There are more than 2 sexes, but you got to be born with these things. All right, so there are more than 2 sexes. Yes, there are men who can get pregnant. Yes. But anyway, I digress here. That's all I really want to say, guys. I love you all, but I despise the many of you. Despise the many of you. Yeah. Too much ignorance. Just do some research on it. All right? And stop calling nice guys lames. Average Joe Smo males who are more likely to be virgins are not lame. And if most people are hypocrites when it comes to religion, they don't follow that shit. Okay, it's a fact. That's why China and Japan is getting rid of that shit. They're smart because of that. But anyway, that's all I really want to say, guys, because I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. And yes, my daughters are okay. Daughters are fine. Okay, they're fine. They're homeschooled. Okay, and they're fed well. And they are very happy every day. Other than that, don't go astray. Know thyself more than anything else. Peace.